mga kaibigan! Welcome to In My Toolbox, your weekly talk show on your personal finance. Siyempre, only here at PHLV Radio. The goal in the show, mga kaibigan, is to give you financial information that you may be able to use on your day-to-day financial decisions. Siyempre, we will unbox topics that will hopefully aid you and guide you and maybe even add to your financial tools. So we will tackle important information mostly not taught in school but is so much needed to empower you financially. As usual, mga kaibigan, in any idea that will transpire in the show, always consult with your financial advisors, insurance professionals, or tax consultants. Okay? So my name again is Enrico Pobre. I'm your host. I'm a sales, marketing, and trainer, an economist, an entrepreneur, and of course, a financial professional. So mga kaibigan, if you have questions, ask them away on the chat box below. Or if you will be listening to the show in a later time, please feel free to connect with me through Facebook page, which is In My Toolbox, or connect with me via Instagram or probably LinkedIn, or simply just Google my name, Enrico Pobre. Ayan naman ha. And you can definitely find me there. Or you can email me at enrico.inmytoolbox@gmail.com. Ayan naman. Alright. Welcome again to another episode of In My Toolbox. And today, guys, we will be talking about how to attain financial freedom. Aba, kakaiba, no? Kasi we've been talking about processes, we've been talking about tools, we're talking about books, we're talking about, ang dami. We talked about so much already on, of course, how to improve our financial situation. So right now, when I was, actually I just came back from Denver and I was reading this book of Jim Rohn, and he was talking to me while I was reading that book or that item, and he was talking to me, financial freedom kasi is a mindset. So basically, I was thinking to myself, am I actually giving so much idea on tools and etc. about how to build wealth, yung mga ganun ba? But then again, I was asking myself, what's really the root cause? The root cause of not having the money or the wealth that one person should have, Kasi one of the principal reasons many people struggle with their finances for years, not just just for one-off, no, for years and years and years, and sometimes their entire lives, is their money mindset. So in fact, money, guys, is actually a mindset. So many people learn their financial habits from, of course, their family, and for that I call it the blueprint of their lives. Not only about money, the way of life, the way of thinking. It's of course, it all starts from home, sabi nga nila, right? So sometimes they hold some beliefs as as their parents. Kung ano yung thinking ng parents and the parents' etc. It's in fact the whole family. What's their mindset with regard to money and in other things, right? But in particular to what we're talking about today, it's of course, it's all about finance, right? Because some families really have what you call a financial difficulties, or what you call financial disorders, and especially how they grew up when they're especially when they felt that during their young lives. So they will actually, that will be imprinted in their blueprint, and then of course these financial difficulties and financial disorders, well, they will be able to get a wrong mentality that has not allowed them to grow. Well, I'm just talking, when you talk about growth, guys, it's not just about money, but of course yung personal growth then. But then again, in particular to the topic today, it's all about money mindset. So depending on what your blueprint in life is, especially focused on finances, most people will get a wrong mentality. And that's the reason why they stop growing or even understanding the very basic of money and finance. So we have this very often we have this money mindset that actually limits our potential, and of course our beliefs about money has limitations as well, and you're not be able to accomplish so much about finances and building wealth, because of course that's what you call the law of the lid, diba? Meron si tayong limitation in understanding it, and for that reason I would want to give you this topic on how to attain financial freedom. So, sabi nga ni Jim Rohn, the guy that I was telling you, he's very, very successful, and you would want to read his books. And there's a lot of Jim Rohn's book, how to attain financial freedom. Have you ever wondered about it? I don't know about you guys, but just asking this question right now, do I really want to attain financial freedom? How about you? Do you really want to attain financial freedom? And the question here now, if you do, how would you be able to gain financial freedom? It means that, does it mean that, financial freedom, that you don't have to worry about money anymore? We have to ask ourselves first, what's financial freedom? What is there to attain? We have to understand that, right? So, well, some people kasi they're spending more than what they make. Siyempre, anything more than what they make is already what? A debt. So, we can actually think that, the way Jimro was saying, that we can actually reverse that. And the first thing that you need to know is, if you're making these financial planning decisions based on, kasi ganito yan eh. If you're thinking of your financial decision is based on how much money you have in the bank right now, then ang thinking nun, the mindset is the bank is actually the one, or your money is the one controlling you. So that's a very different mindset of how to look at it, right? So if you're so dependent on how much money you have in the bank, you just don't know that number is actually the one controlling you. That it makes sense, right? And with that situation, it will create a lot of what? Siyempre, stress. It's it's worrisome, and you have this money problem. So it will actually create this scenario that is very stressful for you. So when I say about reversing it, instead of money is actually the one controlling you. You need to control the money. And if that's the case, you gain financial freedom, not the other way around, if that makes sense, right? So achieving financial freedom mga kaibigan, is not going to happen by accident. Because achieving financial freedom, you have to change your mindset first. Kanina, di ba? I just told you, you have to make sure that the money is not controlling you. You have the control over money. That's one mindset. Okay, so to attain financial freedom, it's all about mindset. And of course, to add into it, it will take a lot of discipline and commitment. So if I'll be asking you a very, very serious question, where you are at the moment financially, and you have to picture yourself, So is money controlling me, or am I the one controlling money? So it will take, again, a lot of discipline and commitment just to get you to the next level. And there's, of course, specific steps that you can make or do to make this goal into a reality. Siyempre, this is what you call financial independence processes, or you call a financial freedom processes, that you will need to have concrete goal and help you avoid the money mistakes. Kasi what we all are going through every day is what you call money mistakes. Well, that's also a part of psychology. Can you imagine, when you go to a supermarket, it's always being advised, don't go to a supermarket when you're hungry. Do you guys realize that? Because you will have what you call a money mistakes. You become buyers of items that doesn't really in your list, or actually is not within the budget. There's a lot of psychology there. I think one of the episodes before, we spoke about those, that don't go to supermarket when you're hungry, right? So those are what you call money mistakes. You become, compulsive buyers, and you just go buy whatever, you feel like buying because, you're hungry. So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that's not the end of you, because, fortunately enough, when we want to intentionally understand how financial freedom works, or how financial independence works, there is what you call money management. And this money management system will actually allow you to control money. It will allow you to control income. And best news, you can allow yourself to control debt. Because if you're able to allow yourself, or if you're able to control income, money, debts, well, you're on your way to financial freedom. So you have to position yourself in a strong position that you are able to do that. But, because, we're tao lang tayo, we're just human. And most people are completely unaware that there is what you call money management system, and that it actually exists. And of course, these are not the type of financial planning which involves, investments such as stocks and bonds or what have you. That's the reason why when people start listening to stocks and bonds and something that they don't know, they don't even want to learn about it anymore. But money management system is not actually a very hard thing to do. You just have to put your mindset there and a lot of discipline and commitment. And other thing than that, I call it, cash flow management system as well. So that's what you call money management system or cash flow management system. So probably when I was reading this book that I was talking to you about, I was really, inspired to share it to you, because it was telling us, number one, you have to accurately predict how much money is needed to operate your household, or it can be a business, in a week time. So it's actually telling you try to predict how much money you will need in the future to operate your, household expenses. We have to figure out exactly how much we're able to spend. So we definitely know that. We're supposed to know that. I'm not saying everybody knows it, but by category, over the years, you would know already. But one thing that I do, guys, when I do my taxes, I go back 12 months, literally, okay? 12 months, January, February, March, April, May, June, and I look at my bank statements. And what I do is I open my Excel sheet and then put, and I categorize them and how much money is going to what item. And you will be surprised. Oh my God, I ate so much food in restaurants. And you would see how much you spend in 1 year just going to restaurants. Say, for example, if you spend $15,000 a year in restaurants, just for example, can you imagine if you start to avoid it already? Well, that could be a potential $15,000 savings in a year. So that's exactly what it means by we accurately predict. I know it's a prediction, but more or less because you've been doing money management that you don't know yet, you can accurately predict how much money is needed to run your household. And now if you do that, now it becomes a budget. Remember, guys, in our past episodes where we were talking about how to create budgets, right? Now, if you're not so used that, this will actually push you to start putting budgets. So that's exactly what I mean by accurately predicting it. So the correct definition of budget is the amount of money it takes for your household to function and to attain the goals that your household would like to have. Definitely, you would know. You can accurately predict how much you're going to be paying for your water, for your electricity, for your cable, etc. So by that, you can actually set budgets already. And definitely, you will not go beyond that, right? Your groceries, you would know that. The longest part probably of my list in 12 months are what? Restaurants and groceries. And usually I do not have a lot of entertainment expenses. But for 2021, when I checked my bank statement, because I always believed that I was not doing it. But in fact, when I checked on it, the number was what? That's the number, right? And that added to my 2020 expenses. Now, say for example, let's just say $15,000 again. If you have $15,000 of entertainment in a year, wow, that's too much, which added to expenses which you were not doing the year prior to it. So again, if you can actually look at your numbers really and accurately predict it, future expenses, I think you're going to be creating a good budget for yourself, and you start now creating, savings for yourself. I was even considering what Jim Rohn said, about the 70-30 plan. I don't know if you recall that, guys. If you're familiar with the 70-30 plan, it means that after receiving your paycheck or paying yourself, okay, simply set aside 10% for saving. Oh, let me just go back a little bit. What do you mean by saving? Paying yourself first? It's gonna be hard. But again, discipline and commitment. If you can do this, I'm telling you, you're on your way to financial freedom. Again, it takes a lot of what? Discipline and commitment, right? So now, if you put a clarity of your goal on creating wealth for you and on your road to financial freedom, you have to understand the 70-30 plan here, okay? 30%, you put it to the side, okay? It means that you already paid yourself 30%, and you live off 70%. So 10% goes to savings, 10% for investing, and 10% for giving. Okay, so and over time, this will guarantee you financial independence. So if I'm you right now, guys, all you have to do is just go figure out, Google if you want to learn more about a 70-30 plan of Jim Rohn. It's actually going to be effective. But again, we can have all the books that we want in life, if we're not putting discipline and commitment to the strategies of how to go to achieve our financial freedom, everything is going to be a waste. Okay. So the second thing that struck me, it says here that you have to figure out to collect the amount of income needed, and to do better than just break even. So ibig sabihin dito, guys, if you are actually earning paycheck to paycheck, and most people are, you have to make sure that you have to find a way, an amount of money that can actually go beyond breaking even. It's good if you're breaking even, meaning your expenses matches your income. But then again, the problem starts if your expenses is actually more than your income. By the way, I don't know if you recall this one. I told you guys, there's really no income problem. There's actually expense problem. I don't know if you recall that, but I'm just telling you, reminding you right now, it's always an expense problem. It was never an income problem. But nonetheless, guys, if you figure out, how to collect the amount of income needed, so we're talking about income now, and you are actually just feeling, you would want to do better than just break even, you can actually go after financial freedom in that case. You always have to make sure that you understand that mindset. Okay? That you have to make sure that you're not okay with just breaking even. You have to find extra income to go beyond those expenses. And I bet you that's a very simple idea, but it doesn't, it's not a rocket science just by saying that, hey, you have to have more income than your expenses. As long as what? You know your expenses and you have your budget and you live within your means, right? And then the other thing here is to find out exactly how much you owe in bills. Again, we were talking about that. Predict future expenses. You can accurately predict it. Oh, well, I'm paying my water right now, $30. Maybe probably if I keep on doing the same usage of water, it will be still $30 by next month, right? So you just have to find out exactly how much you owe in bills and other debts. So this naman is we're talking about our debts, okay, and the bills that we pay month in, month out. Because this honestly, when I was reading my statement, it takes a bit of no, not really a bit, but a lot of courage to confront myself. Because I was already in my the 9th month of the year, September, and I just couldn't stop telling myself, my God, I'm spent. You see, I could see my numbers, and I bet you will too. And do not rely everything in your mind that, I already know my expenses. I'm telling you guys, no, you will not know it. You have to write it and you will see it to yourself. And it actually is a very good reminder that it will tell you, my God, did I spend this much? Right? Because what you don't know, what you only know is what you only remember. But what you write, once you see it, of course, it will remind you, oh my God, I didn't recall this, because you have to look at it, and this way, guys, it will actually make you realize that how much expenses that you've incurred for a year, and how much the income that came in, and you would actually realize, oh my God, I should have stuck to a budget, or I should have made one budget, and I should know these numbers, and don't rely it just into your memory. Okay. Now, once you do that, now the wealth building progresses. Now you will see it. So right now, you're going to be asking me, what are those things that I will be stopping to, or not even stop, just even to lessen in every year is what you call the top most expenses that I incur. Restaurants. Okay, and then entertainment. Those are the things that's beyond the budget, but I put it in anyway. So if you start realizing that, your wealth building process progresses. Okay? So the other thing here too, guys, is to find out how much of income is actually available to spend. Not because that you have an income, you will be spending everything. Oh, Enrico, that's why I'm paycheck to paycheck. Again, guys, it's not an income problem. It's an expense problem. How much are you allowing yourself to spend out of your income? Because sometimes, you're not, because a friend of yours just said, hey, let's go to the premium outlet. And yes, okay, I want to go to premium outlet. And you don't actually position yourself in your budget that you're going to be buying a shirt. Now you start buying it. Guess what? That actually is going to be an add-on expenses beyond your budget, if that makes sense. Oh, Enrico, I think it's a gift to myself because I work so hard. I know, guys, but then again, we're creating an excuse not to progress in wealth building. If we really would want to have a progression to wealth building, you have to put a lot of discipline and commitment. On my way here, going to going back here in Vegas from Denver, I sat with two people. Well, they're a lovely couple, and they're over 70 years old already. And I spoke to them about what I do, and they spoke to me about what they do. Trying to get to know each other. And what I found out, her strategy is very simple. Financial strategy. That's why she had so much houses and investments. And she was saying, hey, Enrico, when I was in the Philippines, I was, there's what we call isang kahit isang tuka, right? I think if I've said it right. But we're poor family. That's why I value the money that I was earning here in the U.S. And I want to make sure that I put those money to work for me. Can you imagine that, guys? It doesn't need a financial person to do it. It's just understanding. Again, we were talking about blueprint of life before, right? And that actually taught her, from the blueprint of life that she has. So she valued money and she wanted to put money to work for her. That's why she has a lot of properties already. Okay, so that's a very, very powerful mindset that I learned from her, and it's not really a rocket science if you just put a lot of discipline and commitment and intentionality to building financial freedom. Guys, your goal, okay, let me just tell you this, your goal should be to be financially free. Let me ask you, is that your goal? See, that's exactly the problem. If you don't make it as your goal, you will never make it happen. Because that's, in the first place, that's not even a goal. But if you start putting that as a goal, okay, I want to have a financial freedom. So if that's the goal, now learn everything about financial freedom. And finding out how much income is actually available to spend is a way to your progress to achieving financial freedom. It's not that hard, guys. It's just a mindset. We just have to put it into our mind, and we just have to put a lot of discipline and commitment to be able to get that, right? But most people forget. Most people forget because once money comes in, I'm telling you, people start thinking of where to spend it, and some of it is already committed, and then you overspend. Now you owe money. So when you spend more than what you brought in, definitely, guys, we know it. We know that's gonna be. It will end up using your credit card. It will end up you borrowing money from your parents. It will end up you borrowing money from your kids. I'm so sorry, but sometimes it happens. So we tend to forget. We're only humans, guys. That's why we're talking about that. How to attain financial freedom is to have to check ourselves first, and we put a lot of discipline and commitment to it. Setting aside regular amounts of cash from your income for the future is another thing. Well, we know that. When we were kids, probably our parents were telling us already, hey, put money aside, put it in the bank, and save it. And by the way, any little thing, again, going back to the couple that I was talking to during my flight going back here in Vegas, she was talking to me about, hey, Enrico, I was thinking of is just a drip of water. If it just keeps on dripping, my bucket will be full at one point. So any cents or any dollar amount will actually what? Will accumulate to fill up my bucket. See, that's not even rocket science right there, guys. It's very simple. Any amount will actually be able to build wealth for you over time. So I was just telling, wow, my God, I love talking to people who understands the concept. So here, the setting aside of regular cash from your income for the future, no matter how much, it will fill up your saving bucket. Okay? And she also said that, hey, I know how to pay myself. What do you mean by, because I'm asking some questions, right? Because I want to learn how her mindset works. And she was saying, hey, I pay myself first before I pay the bills. What? You can do that, right? Yeah. Very few people, does it. Maybe a lot of people knows it, but, not everybody does it. Those are two different things. So she was talking to me about putting aside 10% from her income. Net income, by the way, guys, right? She puts 10% aside from her net income. Well, net income just simply says that this is after tax money. So whatever she has, she puts 10% away already. And that created her wealth. And that's substantial enough for wealth building, mind you guys, Any amount would do, just like the dripping water I was telling you, and going to your saving bucket, that should be fine. But you have to stash a little amount, towards your savings. What's hard really is not putting it aside. What's hard is what? The discipline attached to it and your commitment to doing it, some portion of money has to, of course, to pay past due bills, debts, and current bills, and then portion of this one will be some future large expenses that is going to be very difficult to pay when the time comes. Some Filipinos, guys, buys this real estate condominiums in the Philippines. They pay small amount of money today. That's okay because that's part of their investment anyway. And in the future, after so many years, they're going to be paying some balloon amount of money. And this is exactly what it was saying here. You won't want to pay what? You want to put a portion of this hard-earned money for future large expenses or investments. Because when the due time comes, if you don't have that, you will think, where will I get it? See? So that's exactly what it means here, that you have to prepare what's coming. And of course, you have to be careful, be consistent, on your money management. And of course, if you do this correctly, again, discipline, commitment, right? So it can actually what? Speed up your wealth building progress. So stashing money on the side, paying yourself. These are all probably, you've heard this too many times in your lifetime, but still very, very effective if you put those into action. Okay, so you also use any money left over in ways that increase your ability to produce more income. So why is cash flow management important to us? Because your cash flow is the energy and the lifeblood of our life. You have to know how to manage it correctly, and if there's it necessary to put it into your money system inside your household, and then this income producing capacity that you have. And you have to make sure that it is actually all, it's running very, very smoothly, And then I know it's going to be running smoothly when cash is available, right? So that's exactly what it means here. Any leftover, you want to make sure that you increase it every now and then so you have the ability to produce more. See, so I know, again, it may sound so simple. You may tell me it may sound so simple, but it is simple. Stashing money aside, again, it's not an expense problem. It's an income problem. So again, it's discipline and commitment. The system is easily learned, if you are intentionally would want to learn. And the system is easily to execute if you are really putting discipline and commitment to execute it. Because financial planning really, guys, is everywhere. You can Google it at any time. You can read it. You can, but it will not happen if you don't adopt it and put action to it. It takes a lot of personal discipline and commitment. I keep on repeating this to you guys to be able to achieve the goals of financial freedom. But again, you have to have that mindset to do that. So financial freedom, again, if you ask me, Enrico, you keep on saying financial freedom, what is it again? Well, it's just a time in your life that you will never have to worry about money again. That's actually it. In fact, I was listening again to another podcast talking about money. It says that if you think your full capacity of your life, or your capacity as a person is to earn $50,000, then that's it, guys. Right? That's it. Again, it's not the income problem; it's an expense problem. If you think that your capacity, you put it all there, and your maximum income for that capacity is 50,000, that's good. That's good enough, right? But if you think your capacity is to earn $500,000, right? And you're only putting $50,000 $50,000 in, you're shortchanging your capacity. You have to go out there and get that extra income. Now, building progress, right? If that's the case. So you have to also see yourself, what's your capacity? So that's the other way of a mindset on how to achieve financial freedom. No, it's not all about just thinking about the end results of the where the money is gonna go. Because it limits you. Okay, my expenses for a month is $2,500, so that's only the amount of money that we're going to that I need to earn every month. No, what is your capacity to earn? You have to know that, guys. And then you will start seeing yourself progressing. We always say this one, guys. We have to use our money wisely, but you have to use your capacity wisely too. I hope that makes sense to you. So let's just talk about using money wisely. Well, you need to treat it as money as a resource. A skill set is a resource. Again, your skills to how to make money, but your money as well. You need it to treat it as a resource, because if it's a resource, therefore we go back to money management. So you will have to manage it correctly, that how your family will survive now and in the future. Okay, so correctly means that you're applying the financial freedom steps or processes that you will be executing to be able to achieve that. So now, of course, again, the intentionality, we're talking about that. And you have to allow yourself, guys, to make financial freedom, financial independence as a goal. So, again, guys, we're going to be talking about, we keep on talking about financial freedom, and we were able to define it probably 2-3 times now. But the question here a while ago was, why would you want to have financial freedom? What does it really entail me? So, well, it's just the ability, according to Jim Rohn that I read, it's financial freedom really, it's just the ability to live from income, to live from the income of one's personal resources. So even though when you think about it, what do you mean by that? Then again, the capacity, your skill sets of how to earn, okay, and then the discipline and the commitment that you put into that. So it doesn't have anything to do with lavish lifestyle. We're not talking about that, guys. It's not being modest as well. So financial freedom is just simply means that you have the ability to live the life without worrying about money again. So that's exactly what financial freedom is all about. Again, we were talking about, budgets. The way to support your financial freedom is to have a financial goal and start putting budgets, right? So we talked about that. But the question here, guys, is do you budget? Okay, and then what's in your budget? Okay, so have you actually reviewed your budget? What's in it? Are we putting so much on things that we actually don't need, right? And the other thing too for financial freedom, I know it's a mindset, but some tools is opening the right accounts. I know that that families, you guys have checking account, saving account, and you put this, you use this product to achieve financial freedom, but some other accounts that you will need to open up in the future as well. It's not just checking and savings. Some things that are critical to for you to become financially free are some what do you call this? Some money tax free platforms. You will want to look at those. That there are platforms out there that gives you tax free what do you call this? Tax-free capacity or capabilities, right? So retirement funds, what's your retirement fund? Do you have one? Or like a 401k or an IRA? Do you have college fundings for your kids? All of these things, guys, you have to open the right accounts. Even emergency funds. We talked about emergency funds here before. By the way, for the last 6 months, but right now, if you've been listening to me in the last 6 months, if you don't have emergency funds before, you should have one right now. The question is, if you don't have one, why don't you have one? See, we may know a lot of all of these things that I'm talking to you guys about, but if you don't put actions to it, you will see yourself in the same position as how you were previously. Okay, so we talk about a plan to pay off your debt or outstanding debt. Some of us, or many of us maybe, we have some outstanding debt. So, we call this debt bondage. We just are in those debts. What are we doing to get that out of the way? So, are we waiting for just a forgiveness on this debt? I know it's unlikely to happen. So we might want to make sure that we put a plan in place. Debt repayment program. Well, this although this requires an effective strategy, that you have to know how to use this debt repayment strategies and a lot more. What I would want to make sure, guys, that you have a plan on how to pay off this debt. Remember, we talked about, I had a guest before, we were talking about some strategies on how to pay off debt, the snowball effect, the avalanche method, those are some things that you need to apply. If you are still in debt right now, what steps are you actually doing to get rid of those? We talked about building an emergency fund before. Just going back to that emergency funds. If your income is $5,000 every month, right? For example, and you would want to start building your emergency funds, just probably you multiply your monthly income by 3. That's $15,000 of emergency fund as a goal. You might want to do that. So, of course, guys, at the end of this discussion today, right, to increase your financial literacy or your financial education is to strengthen your mindset to achieve your financial freedom. Unfortunately, guys, financial freedom is not really taught in school. So we just have to really position ourselves to be hungry in learning the steps on how to achieve it. Because personal finance, well, debit, credit, you would see those in school, but the mindset of attaining financial freedom is not part of it. So there's a lot of limitations with regard to getting ourselves into the way to financial freedom. But we just have to know and allow ourselves that yes, we need to make financial freedom as our goal. Another part would be probably investing. Do you have investments right now? Where your money is going to start working for you. Okay, so you put your investment, what type of investments you're in. But definitely investment strategy or investing strategies are going to be one of those tools that's going to be putting you to the next level. If you're not there yet, talk to some financial advisors. That you would actually need to understand what stocks are, what mutual funds are, what our bonds are. You can start by just asking those simple questions up until you position yourself. Yes, I need to get myself into investing. And then once you understand investing, you go to diversification. What platforms are you going to be using to diversify your assets or your investments? What are lower risk investments for wealth building? And just do not hesitate, guys, to seek advice to financial professionals. Sometimes ego is going to keep us from there. Pride is going to keep us from there. There's nothing, guys, wrong to ask questions on things that will actually help you and aid you on building your wealth and on your way to financial freedom. I know it's very hard to trust people nowadays on especially what do you call this, in the side of finance, but you have to start somewhere, right? So you can just allow yourself, say, I don't trust people, so I won't ask questions anymore. Well, you may be right, but you can also be wrong. You just go out there and seek for financial advice to financial professionals that can actually help you assess the risk tolerance that you have, and evaluate possible investment that will actually be equal to your risk tolerance. Okay? And of course, guys, don't stop researching. Don't stop researching on ways on how to achieve, realistic way on how to achieve financial freedom. And you have to, everything that we do, or anything that activity that brings money, can help us achieve financial freedom. It's just a matter of how fast we're going to be doing, how fast this platform is going to help us, or how much time we're going to be putting into it. So because not all of these routes involve good savings and investings. That's why some people also need some side hustles, right? So again, we're gonna go back to additional income, way beyond to just making it work. So again, guys, as I've mentioned, financial education only comes to those who make an effort to learn. Okay, so you just have to make sure that you allow yourself to learn. Well, before you allow yourself to learn, you just have to accept first that that there is something that's missing, right? And that could be financial education and financial literacy. Learning even allow yourself to learn about tax strategies, or anything about investing, and again, seek financial professional advices, and probably, honestly, you might want somebody very analytical to can actually work with you with your numbers. Financial needs analysis. We always talk about that, F&A. Put all your numbers into one sheet of paper and see what your real number is. And of course, once you see this one, you will be in greater control. So whatever you need that you might have, financially, just please do not hesitate to use or learn from resources. Google is, there's a lot of books out there, even YouTube, there's a lot of videos out there that will teach you and help you and aid you to achieve financial freedom. But then again, guys, don't stop yourself seeking advices to financial advisors. I'm telling you, it's all going to be worth it. You might want to have some financial advisors, because this can go a long way toward helping you in achieving financial freedom. Because these are what you call SMEs, the subject matter experts. They are the experts, guys. Just like going to, when you're sick for an expert like a doctor. You don't allow yourself to be the doctor of yourself. It's same thing here. Let them be the money doctor. Ask them questions, and this expert can definitely and help you build your way to financial freedom. And then, well, I agree with you that advisors can come in many forms. Just be wary on those people who are. I know you might say this, the get rich quick strategies. So just consider using an advisor who is very financially competent, that he knows what he's talking about. It's not just because, he's a friend of a friend of a friend of mine. You have to put some due diligence to getting to know their capacity. Okay, so there are a lot of certified financial planners out there, CFPs we call it, that might be able to meet the standards that you have, or even, well, CFPs are government standards to say that they're very competent and ethically as well to help you to gain your financial goals, right? So guys, or probably you might want to check on some apps out there that will be able to help you. There's a lot of phone apps, since you probably be spending a lot of time on your phone, and you might want to look at these apps that will definitely help you organize your budget. And if you're, but first you have to be budget conscious first. You have to learn how to do it. So again, guys, these are all mindset that you will be able to achieve your financial freedom. Because learning how to achieve financial freedom and making it happen are two different things. Again, you may want financial freedom, and making it happen, these are two different things, guys. So again, if you want to learn and benefit I mean, if you want to learn and get the benefit of this financial freedom, you have to allow yourself to learn first. Go out there, can look for resources, okay? And of course, we were talking about discipline and commitment. It may sound, so hard. I know it is. But then again, the habits that you form out of this discipline and commitment is going to make you a permanent route towards attaining financial freedom. And again, guys, you have to stay long enough into a plan to get the results that you want. You have to stick with this plan for the long haul. You cannot just, I just did it for 1 week and then you surrender. You don't want to do anything anymore. And you tell yourself, hey, I did everything. No, you have not, right? And you have not allowed it to work yet. And then of course, once you have attained this, once you go through the process of attaining financial freedom, you will actually see yourself, you're going to have less debt, and your saving starts coming, starts to grow. And then again, of course, guys, you will see yourself, oh my God, I have attained financial freedom already. Of course, guys, financial freedom is not that easy route, but then again, it all starts from you. And it's easy for me to say, but I know it's going to be a lot of discipline and commitment along the way. But this is just some tips that I'm giving you guys when I was reading this book of Jim Rohn when I was heading back here to Denver. So again, that's just the episode that we wanted to share with you today, guys, here in my toolbox, how to attain financial freedom. And I'm just so excited every time that I learn something and I share it to you guys, because I think this is for you and me to attain that financial freedom. Again, my name is Enrico Pobre. You're listening to In My Toolbox. Until next week, magandang gabi mga kapatid. Bye!